But you need to be courageous. You need to be courageous to find out what is that which you really are about to do with the least effort, because you like to do it, because you have the abilities, because it does not go against your values and your ideals, and because it fulfills your needs. As a person, you have needs. And each one of you have different needs. Some people have a need to be outside, under the sun. They like to work outside. You tell them, go and stay in a room, in a dark room, whatever, it doesn't matter to be dark or not. Sometimes it has to be dark to develop pictures, whatever, you know. On a basement, or some secretarial work, to sit down all the time on a chair, or operate an instrument continuously, just feed the instrument information and get information back. There's a lot of jobs that are like that. They're just monotonous, right? A lot of jobs like that. You take a person who likes to be outside under the sun and do work outside, whatever work, and you bring him into that closed building, that person is going to wither. That person is going to become sick. He might be able to pay the bills, but after a while he's going to become nervous. He's going to get psychosomatic diseases. He's going to be sick sooner or later. He's going to be upset. He's going to be physically sick, because the mind and that contentment, if it's not there, is going to affect your body. And it's going to be not just physical problems, but there will be problems in relationships between you and the boss, or the co-workers, or the family. And you will not know why it's happening. You will say, well, that's the way I am. Or, my boss is not really good. Or my co-workers are giving me a hard time. And they might be true. All these might be true. But if you do what you love, you will have the strong force inside you will be able to overcome all this. Because you will have always a smile in your face. And that will change everything around you. But if you don't have that smile in your face, and you don't get satisfaction of what you're doing, the first obstacle, you will become like a monster, and you will just walk away or start fighting. And nothing good will come out of it. So, it's absolutely important to find out what you are most capable of doing. What is according to your beliefs, your ideals. You come from a different culture, each one of you. You come from a different family. You have some ideals, some values. You don't want to disturb them. And sometimes job might do that. So you want to find out what career, what major, what job, what work environment tomorrow will be fitting for you, will fit to you. It will be a good fit for you to be able to do, as I said, with not much effort. It's going to be like a hobby. And to fulfill your needs. Other people like to be leaders. They like to lead other people. They like to tell them what to do. And hopefully they say it in a very beautiful, wise, and compassionate way, in a smart way. Instead, there's two ways to do it. Dictatorial way and a beautiful way to do it, right? And so some people are born to be leaders. Some other people like to be told what to do. And that's nothing wrong with it. Each one is different. And if each one does with satisfaction what he's doing, the company will be happy, your family will be happy, you will be happy, everybody will be happy. I think it's a tragedy that a lot of the young people, I believe all over the world, they do not land into the place they belong, having as a job, as a career in their lifetime. They end up to be planted in the wrong place, in the wrong soil. For reasons of glamour, for reasons of high earning, for reasons of fear of job security and all this. And they end up to the wrong soil, they end up to the wrong place for these reasons that I said and perhaps more reasons. But all these driving forces, which they all have the element of fear, or basically the element of fear, they end up to put people into a very, 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 very high, predicament. What to do after they are locked in. Usually people will say, around you and around me, I hear people say, get this job, it's a really good job, that has a lot of money, and it's secure, and Don't worry about it. Just do what you like as a hobby. I think that's a very wrong, absolutely wrong advice. Very wrong advice. The consequences are very, very, very bad for everyone in the world, the society, the city you live in, the family you belong, and to yourself. I would not compromise that at all. You should not shrink. You should not shrink your greatness, because each one of you has greatness inside you. The universe did not make you with no greatness. Each one born in this world has an incredible greatness inside and needs to be discovered. And you should not shrink that greatness in order to make somebody else happy. You must respect and love the other people, especially if they have put a lot of time for you to come to the place that you are. But you also have a responsibility to yourself and to others that they might not have the power to see what they suggest, to really find out what is that which is for you to do, as I analyzed before. Because that way, not only you will make happy yourself, but you will make happy the ones that they think the way they tell you many times that you will be happy or they will be happy. It turns out to be a disaster. Many times people like to live in an illusion for some time because they just entertain thoughts. The neighbors, the relatives will say, oh, we are doing something really great. And they entertain these thoughts for a while, maybe 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. And they feel like good, kind of. But then the things don't turn out to be okay. Because the kid gets very violent, does not like what he's doing, starts taking drugs, starts hating the family, starts getting the wrong way. Or even if he goes and gets a job, starts fighting with the boss or doesn't like it, go from here to there, it's kind of a disaster. And everybody says, well, life is like that. No, it's not. Life should be a festival. Life should be a festival every day. Yes, there will be bumps up and down. That's true. There always are. But they will not be lasting for a long time. And they will not be two-way intense and two all the way down. So, you must spend time in internships, going and see professors we said in the beginning, take some classes, read some books. That is not a waste of time. That is the best investment you can do in college, to find out what is really for you to do, that you will do it as a hobby. You will make, and let me tell you something. If you find something, you're doing it as a hobby, I can guarantee to you, anybody can guarantee this to you, you will never be poor. Most likely you will end up to be very rich. Because I do not know anyone who does exactly what he loves, that he's not very successful. There's a lot of books. I can tell you a few titles, and you can talk to me after we finish. There is a book which influenced my life when I was ready to make the change, the big change going to teaching 10 years ago. It's called Do What You Love, Money Will Follow. And when I saw that on the airport, I was in a conference trying to take the plane and come back home. I saw that book and I said, okay, that's another book for money. I said, I don't care about this. I already have enough money to save on my savings, a big bunch of it. Because at that time I was a permanent job. I was making every month $8,000. I was making more than $90,000 a year, but I was not happy at all. So I said, okay, here's another book with money. I don't need money. I have money in the bank and I'm not happy. On my savings account, they're just becoming bigger and bigger, the pot. I don't care anymore. I just want to be happy. I'm not happy of what I'm doing. It says that's another book about money. But because I had time, I just took it and opened it. When I opened it, I read a few lines and it says that's not just about money. This is about talking to me right now, what I go through. I bought the book, I went home and I read it and I said, that's it. I was ready, of course. It was not the book that did it for me. It just pushed me more. I said, that's it. From now on, I'm out. And actually I did that. I did it at the age of 45 years old with payments $3,000 a month. $3,000 a month payments for the house only. And I could do it because I was making, like I said, almost $8,000 per month. But then, when I jumped out of that permanent job, I ended up, and I didn't really care. I was so frustrated. I ended up to teach in small colleges in the Bay Area for $500 a month, from $8,000 a month. $500 a month. And that was not for sure either. They were telling me, maybe you have a class, maybe you don't have a class. I went through that for 2-3 years. And I was crying driving on the highway. Always I was crying. What am I going to do? Some people, they call me crazy. Some people, they call me a hero, what I did. And I resigned from my job to find out what I really like to do. But I'm in trouble now. I had to go, and my family together with me, through a really financial crisis. And slowly, with one class in this campus, slowly becoming full-time. But inside me, I believed that I had to do it, otherwise I would get sick. And everything worked fine. Everything was beautiful and gorgeous. Everything is so beautiful now. And has been since I made that decision to go to teaching, even though it doesn't pay as much. I might get half salary or probably less than half salary of what I would be making now, doing what I didn't like. I was not satisfied. But the money is enough. The amount is not important. As long as you have, enough to have the very basic needs met, the most important thing is inside, how you feel. How much you have around, if you don't have that inside feeling of contentment and happiness, like you were a little kid in the sandbox, same way. You are doing your work, you don't even know you're doing it. There's no time. There's not a time frame when you're doing it. It's just like playing in the sandbox when you're a little boy. That's what you need to find out what to do. Do what you love, money will follow. That's one book. Another book is Making a Life, Making a Living. Making a Life, Making a Living. Beautiful book. Then there is another incredible example of a professor who actually died from cancer not a long time ago. And he has a book, The Last Lecture. I cannot pronounce his name, so I will not try to do it. The Last Lecture is the title you can find on the web. And he's also a nice video. I think I've sent it to my students, maybe previous quarters. These people, that they were very successful outside and inside. They were people that they had a dream and they did not give up how to accomplish it. So the life curve goes up. You have to be proactive. You cannot just sit around and say, I don't know what I'm going to do. Because if you wait, somebody else will come and tell you, this is what you should do. But that's not you. It must be you to decide what is that for you. So if you just sit around like this and say, I don't know what I'm going to do, everybody with my friends, they do not know what they're going to do. So it's okay, we're going to wait. Don't waste your time. Don't even waste 1 minute. I'm not saying to you become anxious. I didn't say that. It's a different thing to do something about something. It's a different thing to be worrying and being anxious. These are two different things. Let's not mix up things. So you do this effort, internships, books, speakers, all kinds of things, to really find out what you are about to do. And eventually you will find what you want to do.